He'll reset. Nowitzki again for the lead. Bang!
What's up, Mavs fans? Welcome into All Things Mavs. I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther, and tonight I'm breaking down the terrible, awful, no good 133-108 loss the Mavericks suffered at the hands of the Houston Rockets on Saturday night. Second night of a back-to-back for both teams, and Houston got the better of the Mavs. Now, Kristaps Porzingis did not play in this game for Dallas, but Christian Wood and Victor Oladipo and Daniel House Jr. all did not play in this game for the Rockets. So both teams were missing some obviously very key pieces, but the Rockets ended up getting the better of the Mavs. And honestly, guys, I didn't take a lot of notes on this game. I was tempted to not even do a recap of this game, but I'm going to here just because, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to be one of those guys that only talks about the wins but doesn't talk about the losses, because we're going to talk about it tonight. And really the biggest thing here is the Mavs got off to a slow start and they never recovered. Just never, ever recovered. They go down 38-27 in the first quarter. And then into halftime, they're still down by 11 by a miracle shot by Jalen Brunson. It should have been 13, but it ended up being 11 points. And you know who killed the Mavs? Was DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins finished this game with 28 points, 17 rebounds, and 5 assists. He went 4 of 8 from 3. If he didn't make a 3, he was driving on Willie Cauley-Stein, who started tonight. So the Mavs starting lineup was Luka Doncic, Josh Green, Tim Hardaway Jr., Willie Cauley-Stein, and Jalen Brunson. Only 2 of those starters scored in double digits, in Tim Hardaway Jr. and Luka Doncic. Tim Hardaway's double digits really came in garbage time. The Mavs came into this game looking uninterested in the play or uninterested in the game, and we're just exhausted. And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about. That's really the only thing I'm going to talk about at all in this game. Is the only reason I'm not hitting the panic button over this. Does it suck? Yeah. Is it? Here's the thing. I expected the Mavs to lose this one when I saw Porzingis was going to be out, even though Christian Wood and Oladipo were out. But I didn't expect them to lose like this. And so here's why I'm not freaking out. By the way, I didn't even finish the recap of this game, but long story short, the third quarter was ugly, and then the fourth quarter, it was just garbage time at that point. The Mavs lost the third quarter by 10 points, so they were down by 21 going into the fourth, and so Rick just kind of threw in the towel at that point. But here's why I'm not going to freak out. Number one, second night of a back-to-back for Dallas, and the first time they've been home in a week. They've been on a week-long road trip. Secondly, this is their 5th game in 7 nights, I think is the number. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say no excuses, and I'm also not going to sit here and make up a ton of excuses. The Mavs shouldn't have gotten beat 133-108. But to sit here and be like, oh, this is ridiculous, trade the whole team and overreact because the Mavs are looking tired in this game, is just kind of ridiculous to me, especially with no Porzingis. Like, when it's Luka, Brunson, Josh Green, Willie Cauley-Stein, and Tim Hardaway Jr. in the starting 5, you're just not going to get anything out of that. Like, if you compare the starting 5s, Luka is probably the only guy in that starting 5, or he is the guy in the starting 5 that is unequivocally better than anybody else in Houston's starting 5. If you look at the rest of the starting lineup, for the Rockets, they had John Wall, Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, DeMarcus Cousins, and Jae'Sean Tate. So, Jae'Sean Tate, sure, he's probably the worst one on the floor in that starting 5, but the rest of them are all probably better than the Mavs role players around them, and it was really frustrating. Secondly, Boogie just had his way with Willie Cauley-Stein. Cauley-Stein is not here to guard big men. Like DeMarcus Cousins, he doesn't have the body for it. That's why you would have Maxi Kleber in the game, and the Mavs don't have Maxi Kleber right now in this stretch, and that's what makes a loss like this so tough. So, not panicking because I understand being tired, but I am frustrated by the lack of effort that I saw tonight. I'm frustrated by, honestly, Cauley-Stein's play was really weak, really soft. Tim Hardaway Jr. couldn't hit a bucket, and I'm kind of tired of this inconsistency, but at the same time, he's still recovering from that groin injury, so I'm giving him a little bit of lenience, but the fact that he's been so inconsistent over this road trip has been really, really frustrating. I, quite frankly, just don't understand what the deal is. I'll tell you some positives. I really like the minutes we got from Wes Iwundu. I think he had a great defensive game tonight, but other than him and Luka, there was nothing and nobody good about this game. Luka had 26 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. He only played in 29 minutes. He sat the entire fourth quarter. I'm sorry that this post-game recap is kind of all jumbled, but look, all you kind of need to know tonight is that the Mavs came out in the first quarter, looked tired, and then played tired the rest of the game. Nobody hit a decent shot. The Mavs made 5 threes on 25 attempts. The Rockets hit every three they shot in the first half. They went 16 of 37 from the field. Eric Gordon torched the Mavs for 33 points. He was 6 of 9 from beyond the three-point arc. And Dallas just had no answer for anything. They couldn't get a rhythm. The refs were also hot garbage in this game. I'm going to at least mention that. I mean, you can't blame it on the refs if the Mavs lose 133 to 108. But I will say, the refs never allowed the Mavs to get into a rhythm because they were making such terrible calls all throughout the game. Now, this is an inexcusable loss because there was no Oladipo, no Christian Wood. I think that's stupid. I think that is just a bad take because Dallas doesn't have, I would say, 4 of their top 5 players in this game. Maybe, 4 of their top 6 or 7 if you count Brunson and Hardaway. But no Josh Richardson. Again, no Maxi Kleber, no Dwight Powell, no Dorian Finney-Smith, and no Porzingis. You're not going to win a lot of games with those guys gone. So I'm frustrated that the Mavs didn't show a little bit more heart in this one, but I'm also just throw this game away, right? This is a game you just look past in the box score or in the schedule and just say, you know what? That was a bad game. The Mavs had some bad luck. Porzingis didn't go on the second night of a back-to-back, which I think was a mistake, and I'll mention it now. I think it was a mistake. I know we have to take this long-term view of Kristaps and Luka and be able to say, hey, there's a bigger plan for both of those guys later on down the road. But you also have to realize you can't sit Porzingis just because the other team is sitting guys that are good on the team, right? Oladipo and Christian Wood are probably the 2 best players on this Rockets team. Maybe John Wall is up there. And neither of them played. So Dallas kind of took this view of, okay, well, they're out. I think we can afford to rest Kristaps. Not when you have 4 of the guys out due to COVID. That's my biggest frustration right there. And that kind of just came to me right now. I probably would have mentioned it earlier if I didn't, but I was talking about it and it talked through it, and that's what came to me. But Dallas, when the injury report came out at 12:30 p.m. Central Time, Kristaps was not on it at all. So they planned on him playing the second night of a back-to-back. And then the second injury report comes out that has Oladipo and Christian Wood out for Houston, and that's when Porzingis pops up as out for the game. Or he was doubtful and then got downgraded to out. And I get it. You got to be patient with him and wait to make it to the playoffs with him. But at the end of the day, you got to be conscious about these kind of games. And it's a frustrating loss. It shouldn't have happened if Porzingis was playing. And I'm not blaming it on Porzingis at all. That's the number one thing. He probably wanted to play, but the team was like, no, you're not going to. So that was frustrating. And really, that's all I can say about this game. I really can't say anything else. There's nothing I can really take away from this game. There's nothing I can look at and be like, all right, well, we know this, this, and this about the Mavs. We don't know anything about this team from this game because this wasn't even the Mavs team. Look at Cauley Stein. Cauley Stein starts and plays 18 minutes. If Maxi, Dwight, and KP are in there, he's probably playing 10 to 12 minutes a game. Tim Hardaway Jr. plays 31 minutes. If Josh Richardson and Dorian Finney-Smith are there, he's probably playing 22 to 25 minutes in the game. Jalen Brunson plays 33 minutes in this game. Now, not playing 33 minutes, I'll tell you that much. If Josh Richardson's in there, he's probably playing again, like Tim Hardaway, closer to 20 minutes. Josh Green started and plays 20 minutes. You have a fully healthy roster. Josh Green ain't starting, and he ain't playing 20 minutes. Wes Iwundu, 23 minutes. He probably doesn't get off the bench if Dorian and Josh Richardson are there. Boban plays 19 minutes. He probably doesn't get off the bench if Maxi and Dwight Powell are there. Trey Burke, 24 minutes. Probably pretty standard, he and Brunson. And then Tyrell Terry, Tyler Bay, Nate Hinton all played. None of those guys are going to play when this team is fully healthy. So we have also, Luka plays 29 minutes. Luka's going to play 35 minutes a night. We don't know what this team is, and there's no reason to take anything major from this game other than the fact that Willie Cauley-Stein can't guard physical bigs like DeMarcus Cousins. I'll take that away. And Luka Doncic is still amazing, and his mid-range jumper is one of the best in the NBA. Probably top 3 with KD and CJ McCollum. Those are the only takeaways I have from this game. Other than that, I'm just frustrated and kind of scrapping this loss and saying, you know what, whatever. But this COVID excuse is only going to last so long. And here's an encouraging thing. The only encouraging thing I have from this game. Josh Richardson was on the sidelines for the game. He was in streetwear, but he was on the bench with the team in the back row. And so I think we could see Josh Richardson as early as Monday night against the Denver Nuggets in his first game back, and that will change so much about this team, having his defensive presence and ability to get to the basket. So guys, let out your frustrations in the comment section. I'm not going to judge anyone about how frustrated they are on this one because it's just a frustrating game, but I also want to just say, let's not overreact because we know what this team looks like when they're fully, or when they have at least Porzingis. And it's a different team. It's not what we saw tonight. It's not a team that scores 27 in the first quarter and allows 38. That's not the Mavs. This is not the Mavs, right? This is a makeshift team with 3 guys in the starting 5 that probably aren't starters anywhere else in the league, and Willie Cauley-Stein, Josh Green, and then Jalen Brunson's probably a starter in some situations, but I mean, this just wasn't the Mavs tonight. This was not the Dallas Mavericks that you watched. This is not the Mavericks we will see when crunch time starts to come later on down the season. This is not the Dallas Mavericks you will see when everyone's healthy. So let's not hit the panic button over this. Get frustrated. I'm frustrated, but just don't panic, okay? Because this wasn't the Mavs. That's just all I'm going to say. So sorry this video really didn't have any structure at all. I had absolutely 0 notes. First quarter happened and I was like, this video is going to be a crapshoot, and we're just going to talk about it and just kind of freeball it, and that's what we did here. So, appreciate you guys tuning in. Got 2,700 subscribers now on the channel, so if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and jump on that train. Hit that subscribe button. It'll pop up at the end of the video. Also, watch my recent uploads. On Sunday, I'm going to try to get a preview out about the Denver Nuggets game, which will take place, I think, on Monday. So, again, this grueling, brutal stretch for the Mavs continues on and on. Is that Monday night? I'm trying to see. Yeah, so here's the Mavs schedule coming up. Denver Monday, Utah Wednesday, Utah Friday, Phoenix Saturday, Phoenix Monday, and then it gets a little bit easier after that. But that's 5 tough games, and I'm hoping Monday we get Josh Richardson back, and maybe Wednesday against Utah we get Dorian back, and then we'll see when Maxi and Dwight Powell come back. But appreciate you guys watching the video. Appreciate you guys making it this far. If you already have, smash that like button. Get in the comments. Let me know what you're frustrated about. Trust me, I get it. I hate when the Mavs lose. I hate being 500. I'd rather be above 500, but it's better than being under 500, so there's that. Thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, as frustrating as it may be sometimes, go Mavs, baby.